How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I unlocked the 96 overall cover athlete Joe MAUER, and you get this card by completing the collection for all of the cover athletes featured in the pre-order pack. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Now technically I have paralleled this card up to the first tier by playing ranked seasons, but I also hit 3 home runs in one game, and I wanted to kind of debut him on YouTube in that game. So this is going to be his YouTube debut. We're looking at a pretty good team. He has a couple diamonds in there. He's got a couple golds, some pretty good legend golds. That Babe Ruth hits a home run against me every single time I face him. Actually, a few of my losses have come from walk-off home runs from that Babe Ruth. I have lost a few games. I've lost a handful of games. I think my record so far in ranked and in the event entirely is about 65-8, something like that. But I've had a lot of fun with the game. I've been playing a ton. I probably played 70 games over the weekend. So I'm going to be uploading a ton of videos. I have a lot of gameplay. I'm going to be unlocking some of the new cards that come out once the game is officially released, I believe tonight and tomorrow, for people that did not pre-order and use the early access. But here is the first home run from Joe MAUER. We actually start the game off with back-to-back-to-back solo shots. Cody Bellinger was leading us off. He lined out to center field. Could have easily been 4 home runs in a row. But I am using this face of the franchise, Logan Webb. I purchased this card off of the market for about $40K, and I thought that was really low. I thought that was pretty low for these cards kind of just coming out. Obviously, as time goes on, they will most likely dip down maybe to 20K even. But right now, 40K for using these cards even before the game is officially released, I will certainly pay that. I think that's a good price. Here we have Joe MAUER up for his second at-bat, cashing in a couple more runs, make that a 5-0 game. And this opponent had a great record, just to give you guys an idea, right? This opponent was 12-0 to start this game. We're also playing at a created stadium that has maxed out elevation. So I'm several games into ranked seasons. I want to say this is on all-star difficulty, but it's still tough for me to tell. A couple games I've been late. A couple games I've been super early. It's been tough for me to stay consistent with my timing. But I am loving this game. I'm having a ton of fun. Even in the few games that I've lost, I had a ton of fun playing in those games. And honestly, a couple of them I could have won if I played a little bit better myself. But I think this game is pretty good all around. I have tried out a few different stadiums, and so far I think I like Laughing Mountain and Coors Field the most. Ship It still plays all right. I do notice a difference in the way the ball carries, though. I think it's a lot more fun to play at a maxed out elevation stadium, which I think this guy's created stadium is a maxed out elevation. Look at this ball, just carry out of there, pop fly from Mickey Mantle, hits his second home run of the game, and now we need one more. We need one more right here with Joe MAUER. He's 2 for 3. I did end up popping up against the lefty Scott Kazmir, and this is his 3rd home run of the ball game. Line drives, 3 straight line drives, left center twice and center field once. That card is really good. I liked using, the 90. I had the 88 paralleled up to the 90, and I thought to myself, I could just buy a few more of these cards. I had the stubs. I put some money in, about $300. Some people have asked me about the stubs. And I've been reading a lot of comments over on YouTube. People have talked about the crowd noise. I put that setting back on, but at this created stadium, there are no fans. There's an attendance of 0, so there's no crowd noise happening. Did you notice in that last swing how I had a perfect hit result, and then the PCI and swing timing kind of changed once the next pitch happened? It went to that late feedback. So that's still in the game. That has been in the game for about 2 years now, where if you hit the ball a certain way and it's a foul ball, it will kind of adjust your timing. Not necessarily the PCI, as I said, but it does adjust the timing. And you can see that on that PCI feedback. But anyway, we closed this game out. It took us 8 innings to get this mercy rule, but we are able to put up 12. And that opponent was a pretty good player. I mean, he had a good squad. He had a great record at 12-0. And we were able to mercy rule him, put up 12 runs of our own. But we're going to hop into one more here. I'm using a slightly different team than I was in the previous video. Definitely a different batting lineup. We still have Albert Pujols in the lineup on this one. I ended up selling that card and just buying a few different other players. Just because I've used them for a little bit, I paralleled them up to that 2nd tier. And that's kind of what I'm going to do, is kind of try some players out, sell them over time, use the stubs to buy different players, and kind of just cycle through my team in that way. Now, obviously, I locked in about 350,000 stubs by collecting the cover athletes, by unlocking that Joe Mauer to begin with. But I think it's going to be worth it. I like the fact that he's kind of a brand new legend. He was a legend in previous years, obviously, and a live series player at that. But I think that it's really cool that we have him back in the game. I love a left-handed hitting catcher. And obviously, we're going to get more catchers throughout the year with more power. But right now, I'm happy I collected him. I think that's a good card to get. And there are obviously other budget players that you can put at that catcher position. I am also unlocking some of the Face of the Franchise cards. There are a couple catchers included in that program. So there's a good chance that I get a catcher eventually. But I like using that Mauer. Here we have Chase Utley, lefty. And the left fielder kind of took a weird route towards this ball, and that allowed me to score. I don't think I would have sent the runner if that didn't happen. But I think we would have scored anyway. We have nobody down. Spencer Torkelson up to the plate. He's ripping a double. And that's going to bring up the pitcher spot. We are using Alek Manoah in this game, and he's pitching pretty well. As you can see in the top left corner on the scoreboard, the opponent has no hits. So he's pitching extremely well. No hitter in his debut game. I didn't really include a ton of highlights because I don't think he's good. I don't think that pitcher is effective, especially if you play someone who is very good at the game. They're going to light that card up. He's probably not going to pitch that well just because of his motion from the stretch. He only has 4 pitches. Unfortunately, I did pull that card out of a non-sellable Face of the Franchise pack, so I can't really do anything about it. I'm going to use him. He's a 90 overall. Against most people, he'll be okay, especially once the game is officially released and there's a lot of new players playing the game. He's going to be effective. He's going to get you some victories. But at the same time, if you go up against somebody who knows the game really well, if they're a top player, they're going to hit anyone, so that doesn't matter. But they're going to absolutely destroy this Alek Manoah card. I don't know. But check out Mickey Mantle, robbing Mickey Mantle of a foul ball. I pressed R1 there. I don't know if it did anything. But we got an animation, so that's nice. We are 1 out away from a 7-inning mercy-ruled no-hitter, and Ryan Howard just ruined it. That was an amazing hit, a bad pitch at that. Just caught too much of the plate. And here's another one. Bad feedback on the slider, 50%. That's never good. We have an increased hit chance when that pitch is thrown, and that was certainly a rocket through the right side there. Now we're facing Jesse Winker to try to close this one out. Almost hits a 3-run shot, so that way the mercy rule would not be in effect. But we end up getting the win. Definitely a good game all around, good offensive performance. This is the current squad that I'm using, so I don't necessarily have a ton of gameplay with this team, but this is what you should look for in the future. Some of these players will be used, and some of these players will be featured in videos. I did complete the Tampa Bay Rays collection for that Jose Alvarado, and I think he's pretty good. Honestly, I think he's all right. But that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed Joe Mauer's 3-home run performance, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.